Ew, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? Guys, holy crap. I definitely went through something last night, and I apologize for not getting stuff out to you guys, but that's just one of those things you gotta suffer and deal with when it comes down to just living this life, living the life of not eating healthy and not eating enough every day. So be careful, take care of yourselves. But in our filler episode of Boruto, we really, I don't know how to feel about Boruto, man. Like, to be fair, this episode was trying to be hype with the whole prison stuff and putting Boruto on a fighting, or not fighting, but putting him on an actual level of ninja. Um, it's kind of weird that all these people who are seeing him are like freaking out and stuff like they've never seen shinobis do some hype stuff before. So I think that was probably like the funniest thing to me is that they're like, "Oh my God, how is this guy doing that?" It's like you guys haven't seen all of the shinobi that are out there, and your first time is seeing this kid or something. Because last time I checked, if it was any of the shinobi from Naruto, in the case of them at this age or even in their prime during the war, they would be scaling that building without even using hands. But another thing about it is Boruto couldn't use ninjutsu at all. So I think using your chakra on your feet to run is, considered a technique of sorts. So by not being able to tap into your chakra, you can't use that method of movement. So that would make sense why he would want to use some type of, well, and he said ninjutsu, right? Like I don't know if that is like a ninjutsu move, but he made it sound more or less like I wish I could use my vanishing Rasengan or use my thunder moves or something like that. That's what it more or less felt like to me instead of him saying like, "Oh, I wish I could just use my chakra to be able to put on my feet to move more smoothly," right? Like it didn't feel like that was what he was alluding to. Or maybe he just wanted to use shadow clones, right? Just use a bunch of shadow clones and throw himself up there, because that's pretty much the only reason why he uses them is to boost himself. So I don't know. I have really mixed feelings about this show. There's no like old characters in here that are, keeping my attention glued to the screen as much. And it's easier to notice all these very big flaws for me in the show. Um, I mean, when it comes down to these types of arcs, oh my God, he went right into special. Um, it just feels like anything is possible because they make them that way. Like it doesn't feel like there's any real construction or constructive thing going on. It's just whatever happens, happens, and you just kind of accept it as it goes because it might not hold any jeopardy or anything at the end of the day. But with him going up and getting this light bulb just so he can get some information, it kind of shows you just how like gullible and predictable Boruto is by actually still doing it, but it also shows just how twisted and like rough it is to live this life here because even when people, oh wow, he actually used awakening, holy crap, that's a lot of damage. A lot of people when they see certain like aspects of this show that make them mad, it's really the fact of him not being, he doesn't want to be like his father, but he's so much like him that it's a shame that he just doesn't kind of own up to it, right? Because not only does he showcase his like simple mindedness when it comes down to him being close to his goals, and then he just shoots for them as fast as possible instead of taking his time and having everything work out. He's just like, you know what, I think this is gonna work, and then he just goes for it. That being one of his weaknesses, and not only that, his cockiness. Like he's absolutely cocky as ever. And he has the right reason to be so because he's going against like average people with barely any training in, the ninja way, the Nindo way. And because of this, there's not there's not too much threatening people here. Even when we see like all these really tough older men that look buff, that's supposed to be intimidating to prisoners that can't tap into their ninjutsu, that can't use their powers. But when you're trained in so many different ways of fighting, and you secretly have your ninjutsu not sealed, you might flex a little bit more. You might feel a little bit better about your situation compared to the other people who have been, objectified in the case of they couldn't fight back or they get jumped, like multiple people just jumping in. Like they said, someone in there is the prisoner boss, and I'm pretty sure he don't fight none of his fights. He just lets anybody else fight him. So that's kind of the scary part of where you have power is any and everybody can all of a sudden be against you, and if you have that happening, you just might not even have a chance if you can't even tap into your ninjutsu and stuff like that. So that's all I really was getting from it is them kind of showing us more and more ways to um, just better the situation for the kids being in a place that should have some ridiculous people in it. Like for instance, this is a verse where ninjas are just everywhere, right? Every single village has ninjas and they're all trained different ways. But at the end of the day, like I was saying, they see Boruto just running around climbing a wall and they start freaking out like it's the first time they've ever seen a human scale a wall. But that's also not true because multiple people have gone up and touched this light bulb, ringing the alarm. So we clearly know that some other people are capable of doing this. It's just, I guess it's crazy to see people get past the guards and then after getting past them, actually start scaling it with no types of rope or anything like that, just going for it. Not to mention, lightning freaking hit the thing, so Boruto just wasn't lucky throughout this ordeal. Just like how I wasn't when this guy charged at me and then pulls out his other character to ultimate me. Awesome. But yeah, I don't know. I still have very mixed feelings about the show. I was seeing what people didn't really care about it, and the anime just has one glaring problem is everything they're doing is not interesting. Like it's not really worth like being excited for. Not only that, a lot of this stuff isn't even gonna last, right? Like it's gonna be gone as soon as it came. So it's one of those things where you just kind of take it or leave it. But usually, before you can actually enjoy something, it has to build up. But I feel like that wasn't the case for me with something like Black Clover. Like I feel like Black Clover started and has been going relatively strong through and through. And it's a show that came out, around the Boruto time or a little bit after Boruto was already out. So there's like no excuse for them to slowly but surely absolutely run this show into the ground and then sooner or later just feel like giving us the stuff that's in the manga that people even liked. And then I'm still seeing that people don't even like the pasting in the manga. So it's coming down to a very, very interesting end game for Boruto, and I just don't know where it's actually going to land after it's all said and done. But with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoy whatever you enjoy. If you love Boruto and you can't really put it into words why you love it, that's on you, Like I'm not gonna hate on it. I don't think anybody's dumb or anything for liking whatever shows they like. It's just for me watching it, I can't be nearly as passionate about it until like a character I really didn't know could grow any more than they already. Like for instance, the guy who's always torturing people. How are you gonna make him a lovable character all of a sudden? Like he became a character that I actually wanted to see more of just because it wasn't something that needed to be done. It was something they chose to be done, and that's what's cool about it. I guess it could, in the sense of needing to be done, it needs to be done so he's a likable character to be killed, right? Like a lot of characters become likable or willing, people are willing to like enjoy them or whatever as long as they pretty much serve a purpose. And from what I've seen from people like Night Eye, those purposes could be served with less than like 5 episodes for people or series. So we'll see how this one turns out. I hope you guys had an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be when you're watching this. I am your boy, the Anime G, and make sure you guys enjoy whatever you enjoy because I'm tired of people saying if you like something you're some type of way. It's stupid. And I believe that anybody should be able to enjoy whatever the heck they want, whenever they want, because that's how anime works. So with that being said, peace.